We received a statement from the union that represents over 2,800 of the department's employees. It says in part, this executive order is nothing more than an illegal overreach of executive power designed to unemploy dedicated civil servants and decimate the critical services they provide. What's your response?
Well, I think you heard directly from the president today when he said that we'll be doing this expeditiously, but also within the laws that we are given. So we'll work within the laws to do this.
And what's your message to Congress? There are a lot of lawmakers who say, hey, this is a federally funded agency that we created, that we've overseen. You're not doing away with it completely, but you're dismantling it in a lot of ways. Are you worried the legal challenges and congressional oversight could get in the way of what you envision?
It is certainly my plan to work with Congress. And I know that the Department of Education was established by law and statute. A lot of the programs that are now currently in the Department of Education were also set up by Congress. So we're going to have to work with Congress. I'd like to think that they're going to be a partner in this because in the end, whether it's Democrat, Republican, Independents, our children in this country are the ones that we have to keep in mind. And we want to make sure that every child, and the president has said this over and over, has equal access to an excellent education. We can't be last in the world.
The president talked a bit about some of the carve-outs and services that will continue to be provided for special needs children as an example. Any concern as states take on more responsibility that there could be unequal standards where some states might have more resources and more funding or have a better foundation laid and that it could impact families who are relying on these programs right now?
Well, the funding will continue and it will go directly to the states. It won't have to go through the bureaucracy of the Department of Education. So I think it could operate definitely more efficiently, and the governors are all on board with that. Are there going to be some governors that do things better than others and some states will perform better? Surely. But I would certainly hope that the Department of Education is my goal as we wind it down, that we are providing tools and best practices to those states so they can understand what some other states have accomplished, what has really worked for them, and they can accept that and tailor it for their own students and their own communities.
Without Congress stepping in, how, little or how small do you think you could get the department without Congress stepping in to formally dismantle it? How long will this kind of go on?
I'm not quite sure. The president certainly would like us to work as expeditiously as possible because he believes the sooner we can do this, the better, and he's anxious for me to fire myself.
Last question for you. I had a conversation today with the head of the National Parents Union. I just want to read one quote that they told me and get your response. They said, you don't get angry at the thermometer when your kid has a fever. You know, that's what the federal government is. It's the thermometer to tell us what ails us, whether or not our kids are educationally healthy. What's your response to that?
Well, I think if we look at our national report card, the NAEP scores that came out at the end of January, we could see that our children in this country are not educationally healthy. Their scores have been down, and since the Department of Education was established by President Carter in 1980, we've spent nearly $3 trillion, and our scores are no better. In fact, in some instances, they've gone down. And when you see the scores that the President referenced today, that 70% of 8th graders can't read proficiently, and the same with math and 4th graders, we have to do something different because what we're doing is not working.
I'll ask one more question. My mom is a teacher. My mother-in-law is a teacher. What's your message to teachers right now who see this news and are just concerned or confused about the path ahead, how it could impact their classrooms?
The first thing I want to say to teachers is thank you. I think teaching is the noblest profession in our country. I think our really great teachers should be rewarded. I believe in merit pay for teachers, and I want teachers to know that we want them to be able to do what they do best, and that's teach. Do you realize that of every dollar that goes to the states, about 47 cents of that dollar is spent in regulatory compliance? A great deal of that has to be done by teachers. I think they would rather be spending their time doing innovative things in their classrooms, and we want to make it possible for them to do that.
Madam Secretary, thank you for the time.
Thank you, sir.
Thanks for watching our YouTube channel. Let Spectrum News be your resource for balanced, in-depth political coverage. And click the subscribe button here. You can also download our app and watch us on TV to learn more about the candidates, where they stand on the issues, and more. We'll see you then.